पर सर वो डिस्टोर्शन बहुत ज्यादा है।
Class response to measurement.
I think I'm having only the problem with section A. I do not know. With all other sections, there is no any issue on my system. But anyhow, we have already wasted a lot of time. Okay, class C, are you there? Class C.
यस सर, यस सर।
ठीक है, तो class C, just raise the hand how many students they are present. I want to mark the attendance first, and I will also mark the attendance at the end, just to make sure that everybody can hear me. And I'm also going to share the screen so that you may also see the status. So can you see the screen as well, class here?
यस सर।
Okay, ठीक हो गया। So only Ahmad Al Azam and Miss Muqaddas Javed, they are absent, and Abdullah Zahid. Okay, have you seen the derivation that I have shared yesterday? Students, please unraise the hand.
सर हमें उस पर एक्सेस ही नहीं थी। सेम लास्ट टाइम।
Why there is no access? Anyhow,
सर
I have, हाँ जी बताएं।
जब आप शेयर करते हैं उसमें सेटिंग में इशू आ जाता है, उसमें आप एक्सेस नहीं हमें मिलता।
एक्चुअली उसमें सिर्फ उन स्टूडेंट को एक्सेस है जिनका यूईटी का ईमेल है, आई बिलीव, बिकॉज मैनी स्टूडेंट दे गॉट द एक्सेस। बिकॉज अभी मैं चेक कर लेता हूँ, मैं अभी, क्योंकि मैंने आपको वो शेयर की थी सेक्शन सी की, अगर देखते हैं उसमें कोई इशू है तो मैं भी इसको देख लेता हूँ दोबारा, अभी आपके सामने सेक्शन सी। सो ये वाली थी, तो इसमें I just copied the link and there is no any other option. Just let me check whether it is having some access issue or not.
एक्सक्यूज मी सर।
हाँ जी बताएं
सर, वो आप जब शेयर पॉइंट से खोलेंगे ना, फिर एसएस ऑप्शन आएगा।
अच्छा नहीं अच्छा, मैं अभी देख लेता हूँ। अच्छा, मैंने ये देखो ना यहाँ से ओपन किया इसको, ये क्या नाम है, जहाँ पे ये फाइल पड़ी हुई ना, तो यहाँ भी जब मैं क्लिक करता हूँ तो यहाँ पे इसका कॉपी लिंक आ जाता है ऑलरेडी। यू वांट मी टू ओपन इन शेयर पॉइंट, ओपन इन शेयर पॉइंट। ओके ठीक, मैं इधर से चेक करता हूँ दोबारा। अभी चेक कर लेते हैं, ठीक है, ताकि इशू जो है ये परमानेंटली रिजॉल्व हो जाए। लेकिन ये ओपन हो रहा है कि नहीं? अच्छा, रिक्वेस्ट, अच्छा ये मैं एक्चुअली किसी और कंप्यूटर पे हूँ। यहाँ भी नहीं ओपन हो रही। लेट्स ट्राई अगेन, क्योंकि ये मैं किसी और, हाँ जी बताएं, क्योंकि मैं किसी और कंप्यूटर पे बैठा हूँ, अपने कंप्यूटर पे नहीं हूँ, तो शायद उस वजह से वो उस पर भी एक्सेस मांग रहा है। अवेटिंग अप्रूवल। हाँ जी
सर ऐसे ही आप सर डाउनलोड करके अपलोड कर दें हमारे सेक्शन में।
नहीं, वो मैंने डाउनलोड की हुई है, लेकिन वो एक्चुअली मेरा ना वन ड्राइव का लिंक नहीं चल रहा, तो ड्रॉप बॉक्स मेरा फुल हो गया हुआ है, लेकिन मैंने डाउनलोड की हुई है। तो मैं कोशिश करता हूँ आज ही ना मैं उसको कंप्यूटर को दोबारा फिक्स करके मैं आपको वो सेंड कर देता हूँ बाय एनी वे ना, क्योंकि वो सिंक्रोनाइज का ऑप्शन नहीं आ रहा। मैंने डाउनलोड कर ली हुई है, लेकिन वो मैं फिर आपको आज शाम तक फिर मैं कर देता हूँ या बाय द एंड ऑफ दिस वीक, ठीक है। अगर ये ऑप्शन वर्क करती है, ये वाली जो मैंने अभी चेक कर रहा हूँ जैसे आप बता रहे हैं, क्योंकि मुझे ईमेल आती है स्टूडेंट की ना वो अप्रूवल की, तो 1 बाय 1 अप्रूवल देना, वो इतनी ईमेल्स हैं, दैट इज़ डिफ़िकल्ट। बट एनी हाउ वी विल फिक्स दिस इशू। अभी जो 2 इशू आ रहे हैं, एक सिर्फ आपके सेक्शन में ये माइक का थोड़ा सा इशू है, आई डोंट नो देयर इज़ मे बी सम प्रॉब्लम इन मीटिंग सेटिंग, सो मैं इसको चेक कर लेता हूँ, ठीक है। तो अभी किसी और का क्वेश्चन है, वरना मैं ऑलरेडी वो प्रॉब्लम स्टार्ट करता हूँ अभी। सो anybody who is having question, please raise the hand. Okay, Rashid, you are having some question, your hand is raised. Rashid, नहीं कोई क्वेश्चन, सो मैं फिर लेक्चर स्टार्ट करता हूँ। तो इंशाल्लाह आपको डेरिवेशन जो है उसकी वीडियो रिकॉर्डिंग मिल जाएगी बाय दी विद इन 1-2 डेज। मैंने उसको डाउनलोड की हुई है, जैसे वो सिंक्रोनाइज होंगी तो वो आपके पास उसका लिंक आ जाएगा, ठीक है। ओके, लेट मी स्टार्ट द लेक्चर। सो क्लास हियर, कैन यू सी द स्लाइड्स? जस्ट रिस्पॉन्ड।
Yes, sir.
ओके, गुड। अच्छा, इसमें ये है कि व्हेन यू विल वॉच द वीडियोस फॉर द डेरिवेशन, सो यू विल अंडरस्टैंड द डेरिवेशन। So today I am going to start the problem directly using this radius of curvature method. But before starting this radius of curvature method, just I will give you an overview what is the radius of curvature method. So before starting, let me start recording. Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, dear students, last time we have studied the method of principle of superposition to determine the resultant stress in symmetrical and unsymmetrical section which is subjected to biaxial or unsymmetrical bending. Actually, the problem was quite easy if we are only dealing with symmetrical section, because in case of symmetrical section, centroidal axis are the principal axis. So we do not need to determine the orientation of principal axis. So, but in case of unsymmetrical section, orientation of principal axis is different from centroidal axis. So if the loading is also inclined, so sometimes the problem become quite complicated or lengthy to solve or to determine the resultant stresses. So it means why we need to do this procedure, because the bending formula or the flexure theory is only applicable if the loadings are acting or applied about the principal axis. When I talk about the loading, so in sense of the moment, if the moment they are acting about the principal axis, then they will be symmetrical bending, and we can use the flexure formula by part to determine the stresses due to the moment acting about x principal axis separately, and moment acting and due to the moment acting about y principal axis separately, and then we can add the both component to determine the resultant stresses. So in case of unsymmetrical section, so principal axes are different from the symmetrical section. So the calculations are little bit lengthy, because first you need to determine geometric properties with respect to centroidal axis, then you need to determine orientation of principal axis, then you transform the geometric properties moment of inertia from centroidal axis to the principal axis, then you also determine the components of the applied loading or the moment about principal axis, and similarly you also transform the coordinate under consideration where you want to determine stress about the principal axis. So the procedure become quite lengthy or complicated. So there is another method which is quite simple method, which is called general bending theory or radius of curvature method. Actually, this radius of curvature method or general bending theory, this formula is also derived from the bending theory. So which bending theory? So for example, we have already derived this formula. I will show you the flexure formula that we have already derived. This one. So in this formula, actually we are comparing these two components. to determine the stress. If we are provided with applied bending moment, so we can determine the stress by using by comparing these two factors, sigma is equal to my over I. But now in general bending theory, what we are doing, we are comparing or equating sigma. We want to determine the curvature or radius of curvature, and then we are comparing these two factors to determine the resultant stress. So sigma will be equal to E y over R. So R is the radius subtended by the bending shape or arc of the bending shape, or this is the curvature. 1 over R is equal to curvature. So we want to use this formula. So in the derivation, you will see the derivation in upcoming slide and also in the video recorded lecture that I will share with you. So there are certain limitation of this radius of curvature method. So first advantage is what is the advantage? Advantage of this method is that this method or radius of curvature equation require all parameters with respect to centroidal axis. So we just need all bending moment of inertias and coordinate of any point with respect to centroidal axis. We don't need to transform about the principal axis, or we need to determine the orientation of principal axis. But this method is having only one limitation. So deflection cannot be determined by this method, because resultant deflection or deflection always produce about the principal axis. So to determine the deflection, we need to have geometric properties, moment of inertia, and loading with respect to principal axis. So only this method cannot be used to determine the deflection. If you want to determine the deflection, you need to determine orientation of principal axis first. So this is the roughly derivation. So if you will see in the video recorded lecture, so almost half of the derivation is same. So you will end up having so this is called curvature. So curvature is equal to 1 over R. So I have mentioned somewhere. So reciprocal of radius in y direction or x direction is referred as a curvature. So resultant stress are equal to Ey into Ky plus Ex into Kx. So Kx is the curvature in x direction, which is the function of the movement about y axis, and Ky is the curvature in y direction, which is the function of the moment acting about x axis. So resultant stress which are acting toward longitudinal direction can be determined by this equation 3. So in equation number 3, if we know the curvature, we can determine the stress at any arbitrary point which is having coordinate x and y with respect to centroidal axis. So we just need to determine the curvature. If you have the curvature, you can simplify this equation. So about the, regarding the orientation of neutral axis, we are having the same equation. So if you equate the stress equal to 0, then you can determine orientation of neutral axis by the same concept that we have already discussed earlier. So beta will be equal to tangent inverse into curvature in x direction divided by curvature in y direction. So if you substitute the values, you will have more simplified solution. So sign, this negative sign indicate that angle is in clockwise direction. So angle beta is measured from positive x axis. So let me write here positive x axis. So why? Because we have already discussed that radius of curvature method, in radius of curvature method, all parameters are with respect to centroidal axis. Actually, this equation that we have derived are applicable only for positive curvatures. Positive curvature mean that if the tension is at the bottom surface, so tension at the bottom surface will produce, in case of simply supported beam, if the load is acting in downward direction, then tension will be at the bottom surface. Or in case of cantilever beam, if the load is acting upward, then the tension will be at the bottom surface. So if the tension is at the bottom surface, then the curvature will be positive. So if we are dealing with the case, in case of cantilever, when the load is acting in downward direction, it means that tension will be at the top surface. Or in case of simply supported beam, if the load is acting upward or tension is at the top surface, then we need to multiply the curvature that we have computed with -1. So I have highlighted here. So these are the simple cases that you will see in the derivation. So regarding the picture, need centroidal location, and centroidal location will be x and y. If it is not given, then we will determine the second moment of areas about centroidal axis. We will also determine the moment which are acting about centroidal axis. Maybe we may be given both, maybe in one case, some cases we may have only one moment. So all parameters are with respect to centroidal axis. Then we shall determine the curvatures by using this formula. So in the both formula, denominator they are same. And then we can determine the resultant stress at any point by using this formula. So kx, ky value we have already computed here. So here x and y, these are the coordinate of point under consideration with their respective quadrant sign. So if x will be in the negative side, so this will be negative, or vice versa. We will see when we are solving the problem. So in above equation, use x and y values of any specified point along their coordinate sign with respect to centroidal axis. And then orientation of the neutral axis, it can be determined by this equation. Okay, we are having the same problem that we have already solved by by 0.7. Okay, in this case, load is acting along y centroidal axis, so it will produce the moment about x centroidal axis. So we are interested to determine the resultant moment about centroidal axis. So moment acting about centroidal x-axis will be equal to P into L, because we are dealing with the cantilever case. So load multiplied by cantilever length will be total moment. Moment about y-axis will be 0, because load is not having any component which is acting in x direction, so no moment will be produced about y-axis. Geometric properties about centroidal axis we have already computed earlier. So actually we're supposed to use this formula. So in this formula, you can further use some simplification. You can compute the square of product moment of inertia before substituting the value here. And you can also compute the product of Ix and Iy, because you have to use the values here. So curvature in x direction is the function of the moment about y-axis into moment of inertia about x-axis. So there is no moment acting about y-axis, so this parameter will be 0. You are having this minus mx is equal to 18 kilonewton into meter. You need to multiply with exponent 6 to convert into Newton and millimeter. And then product moment of inertia, you need to substitute with its negative sign. E value is constant outside. We have already computed the square of product moment of inertia, which is 26.42, and product of Ix and Iy, which is 87.09, and I have taken exponent 12 common outside, so this exponent 6 will be cancelled with exponent 12, and you are having the answer minus 1.525, because this factor is more than this parameter, and this minus will be cancelled out with this parameter. Similarly, you can compute the curvature in y direction. This parameter will be 0 because my is equal to 0. You will substitute the values of mx in Newton and millimeter. That is, there is a mistake, I guess, maybe. So yes, actually this value should be moment of inertia about y-axis. So this value is 3.84. Actually I have copied from here, so I cannot add it at the moment. So when you can mark the correction here, so there is a mistake, so it's supposed to be 3.84, but answer is correct. Answer is correct. So this is mistake over here. So curvature in y direction is minus 1.41. Okay, please see here, these are the curvature values for positive bending moment. Positive bending moment means if that tension is acting at the bottom fiber. But we are having cantilever beam, if the load is acting downward, so tension is on the top surface. So what we will do, because tension is on the top surface, so you will multiply this curvature value with minus 1 that I have multiplied here. So we are multiplying the curvature, both curvature value with minus 1 because tension is at the top surface due to applied loading, because these curvature equations are for positive bending. In the same way, you will compute the orientation of neutral axis. So beta will be equal to minus tangent inverse kx over ky. If you substitute the kx and ky value, so beta will come out to be 53.2 in clockwise direction. So this value is from positive x-axis. So actually this value will be exactly the same that you have already computed by principle of superposition, because in principle of superposition you are having the value from principal axis, x principal axis. So orientation of the principal axis in the clockwise direction. So if you will sum 14.31, 53.2, then the answer will be exactly the same, 67, that you have already determined in principle of superposition method. So I will show you here. So here beta is given from x principal axis, 67.51. So if you subtract 14.31 from 67.51, so you may have the same value that you have determined by radius curvature method, because radius of curvature method give all parameters with respect to centroidal axis. So the answer will be same. Or if you add 53.2 in 14.31, you will have the answer 67.51. And next is, so in radius of curvature method, now we are having this equation. This is general equation. So that is the sigma is equal to kx into y into ky into x, sorry, kx and x value and ky into y value. So if you are having curvature in x direction, then you are having the x value here. If you are having curvature in y direction, then you are having y value, because curvature in x direction is the function of the moment about y axis, and curvature in y direction is the function of the moment about x axis. And then I told you that if you want to determine the stress at any point, for example, point A, B, C, D, E, F, so you need to use the coordinate of all points with respect to their quadrant. So for example, point A and F, they are in the second quadrant, so their x value will be negative and y value will be positive. So x value of point A is minus 4.3, and for B also minus 4.3, for F that will be minus 24.3, and for E that will also be minus 24.3. B and E, they will have both x and y quadrant negative. So we have already determined this coordinate also here by principle of superposition method. These are the same values that we have already computed. So we need to substitute the x and y value in this equation, because we have already computed the kx value, ky is the constant. If you substitute the x and y value of any point which is under consideration, you will have the stress at that point. So, and you need to substitute the values with their quadrant sign. So sigma A kx is equal to 1.525 over E, and ky is equal to 1.14 over E. So these parameters are constant for all points, and ky curvature is also constant for all points. And just if you substitute the values of xa and ya with their respective quadrant sign, then you will have the stress at that point. For example, point C, D, it is having x value positive 75.7 and y value is minus 74.3. Just see, x value is positive 75.7 and x value minus 74.3. So you are having the stress at point D. And similarly for point E, both x and y values, they are negative, minus 24.3 and 74.3. So you are having the same stress value that you have already computed by principle of superposition method. So if you are sketching the stress profile, you will also have the same stress profile. So only the difference is that you cannot compute the deflection by this radius of curvature method. If you want to determine the deflection, or if it is asked in the question, then you need to determine the orientation of principal axis first, and then you need to determine the deflection along or about the principal axis. So next there is a follow-up. I will decide whether you need to submit or not, but at the moment these are the follow-up assignment. So the book is Mechanics of Material by Andrew Peitel and Jan Kioslas, and it is a second edition. So you're supposed to solve this problem. So inshallah by tonight I will share the links of video recorded lecture that I have already downloaded. So if you are having any question, so you can ask me now. So if some student is having question, they can raise. Yes, Ms. Anisa, yes, please ask the question.
So we apply the right hand rule on the axis on which the moment is acting, whether
Yes.
it would be centroidal axis or the principal axis. So,
Yes.
sir, what is the difference between the neutral axis then? Because on the net we read that it differentiates between tension and compression.
Actually, the problem becomes quite simple. If you are having only one moment which is acting about the principal axis only, then orientation of the neutral axis is readily known. You know, I have split up, for example, here. Just see, can you see this slide?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Actually, this is the principle of superposition. I'm saying that if this is not the case, if my is not acting, this is absent. If my is not absent, just assume that we are having only mx. You understand? Then this will be the neutral axis. In this principle of superposition, I'm assuming that my is equal to 0 and I am determining the stress only due to the mx. So the stresses due to mx can be determined by this component. So if my is present, then neutral axis will be the axis about which the moment is acting. But when I consider this diagram, I assume that mx bar is equal to 0. If mx bar is equal to 0, then the neutral axis will be the axis about which the moment my is acting. So this is principle of superposition. But when both movement they are acting simultaneously, then none of the x principal axis and the y principal axis, they will be neutral axis. Then the neutral axis will be the axis that you are determining by this equation. So if both moment mx and my they are acting simultaneously, then the neutral axis, orientation of neutral axis is the function of the moment of inertia about x-axis and y-axis, and the orientation of the moments about the principal axis. Just if you substituting any one value equal to 0, my, so you will have the orientation of the neutral axis about the same axis about which the moment is acting. So you got my answer or not?
Yes, sir, I got it. And one more thing, when we find the neutral axis, after that we can say that on the top it's